Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking what is arguably the defining characteristic of our modern era, the anthropogenic footprint. We are going to explore exactly how our everyday choices dictate planetary health and what ecological stewardship actually looks like in practice. Let's get right into it.
We are altering the planet's natural balance, and honestly, it's a staggering reality. To put it into perspective, humans have now modified over 70% of the Earth's ice-free land surface. Every single action we take ripples out and fundamentally changes the natural equilibrium that our planet has maintained for millennia. We're no longer just living on the Earth, we are actively rewiring how it functions, and we're doing it at breathtaking speed.
Okay, let's dive into this. At the core of this massive shift are what we call anthropogenic activities. Simply put, these are the human-driven processes that are systematically altering global ecosystems. This encompasses everything from the concrete we pour for our highways to the agricultural fields we harvest. This isn't just some background detail. It is literally the foundational driver of the complex cause and effect chains we're seeing unfold across the globe today.
Section 1. Drivers of environmental change. Unpacking human activities.
Industrialization, urbanization, deforestation, intensive farming, overfishing, and mining. Now, these aren't just isolated events. They're deeply interconnected, compounding pressures. Consider this. Urban areas are expanding so rapidly right now that we're effectively building a new city the size of New York every single month. That immense expansion requires staggering amounts of industry and materials, which in turn demands more intensive farming and aggressive mining. Every step leaves a profound and lasting footprint on our environment.
And the chain reaction here is immediate. Rapid industrial expansion and urbanization demand staggering energy consumption. That consumption spikes our greenhouse gas emissions, effectively locking heat into our atmosphere. And that leads directly to the global warming and climate change we are battling today. It's a direct, undeniable through line from human expansion straight to a warming planet.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how deforestation doesn't just mean having fewer trees. When we clear forests to make way for agriculture and infrastructure, we're systematically breaking down three absolutely essential natural cycles. First, habitats are destroyed, which drastically reduces biodiversity. Second, disrupted water cycles follow because those trees are no longer there to absorb and release moisture back into the atmosphere. And third, without those deep root systems anchoring the earth, we trigger severe soil erosion.
Think about our push for massive agricultural yields. It relies heavily on chemical use and intensive farming. But this efficiency comes at a truly devastating cost: the severe degradation and pollution of our life-sustaining rivers and groundwater. We're essentially trading long-term aquatic health for a short-term harvest, creating chemical runoffs that literally result in aquatic dead zones. It's a stark reminder that whatever we put into the soil eventually finds its way straight into our drinking water.
Section 2. Visible impacts on Earth. Grounding the abstract consequences. The impacts of these activities are definitely not hiding from us anymore. Just think about the air you breathe during a smog alert in a major city, or the sudden water restrictions placed on your community because local reservoirs are running dry. Poor air quality and depleted resources are immediate, breathable consequences of urbanization. They act as a constant physical reminder of our environmental footprint. Then there are the melting glaciers. We are losing the planet's massive, ancient ice formations at a completely unprecedented rate. We're talking roughly 267 gigatons of ice per year. That is an almost unfathomable volume of water pouring directly into our oceans. The loss of these glaciers isn't just a tragedy for the landscape, it represents a fundamental, devastating shift in the Earth's natural climate regulation systems. Furthermore, this shifting climate directly translates into frequent extreme weather events. And I really want to emphasize this. This is not some distant, abstract problem for future generations to figure out later. These extreme weather patterns are a present reality. They are directly affecting human safety, altering global weather patterns, and displacing communities right now.
Tragically, this relentless push degrades environments to the point where vulnerable species are pushed right to the brink of extinction. So why does this matter to the whole system? Because every time a species goes extinct, it's like a giant puzzle losing a piece. The intricate web of our ecosystems frays just a little bit more, which ultimately weakens the overall ecological resilience of the entire Earth.
So, is there a transformative capacity to our actions? We've just walked through some heavy, destructive realities, but human interaction isn't solely defined by the damage we do.
If we possess the power to alter the planet so drastically, well, we inherently possess the power to heal it too. Let's turn our awareness toward the proactive solutions.
Section 3. Corrective Measures and Sustainability. The Pivot to Planetary Health.
These specific, actionable policies reflect our global attempt to balance necessary human development with crucial ecological sustainability. To cut those greenhouse emissions, a massive global shift toward renewable energy is currently underway. Simultaneous efforts in afforestation aim to restore those broken water cycles and protect our soil. And alongside all this, modernizing into sustainable agriculture and implementing strict waste management protocols are vital, large-scale efforts actively working to reverse our footprint.
To actually organize these efforts globally, we rely on frameworks like the Sustainable Development Goals. Environmental education and these international frameworks mandate a very simple but incredibly powerful idea. Human progress must align with planetary health. We literally can no longer treat economic development and ecological preservation as mutually exclusive goals. They have to operate together, hand in hand.
Section 4. The Choice, the Future of Ecological Stewardship.
And this brilliantly illustrates a distinct dichotomy in how we interact with nature. On one hand, we hold the destructive potential of unchecked behavior, the rampant pollution, the melting glaciers, and the severe habitat loss. But equally, we hold the transformative capacity for conscious, sustainable action through renewable innovation, global goals, and real ecological restoration. The source material makes it incredibly clear that we possess both capabilities in equal measure.
Which leaves us with one monumental question. Will society prioritize ecological stewardship alongside economic growth? The future of our interaction with this planet depends entirely on how you and I choose to answer that question today. So, what role are you going to play? Thanks for joining me on this explainer.